Coronation Street plans firebomb horror as Robert and Michelle get targeted at the Bistro. Robert Preston and Michelle Connor find themselves in terrible danger next week as someone starts targeting them at the Bistro. Robert Tristan Gemmell recently made a risky decision by setting up his old friend Rich Collis in a drugs sting, which left the villain furious and swearing revenge. Just when it was starting to look like Rich was only making empty threats, Michelle makes a shocking discovery next week as she spots that someone has spray-painted the letters RIP on the wall of the Bistro. Fearing that Rick's revenge attacks have begun, Michelle scrubs off the graffiti and gets Pat Phelan to fit some new locks as a precaution, but things are about to escalate to a whole other level. As Robert and Michelle are heading towards the Bistro, they're horrified to see a youth hurling a Molotov cocktail at the building. This leads to the door being engulfed in flames, and although Robert tries to chase after the guy responsible, he quickly loses him and is left with few answers over what's going on. Adding another disturbing clue into the mix, Robert was mugged while out in town the previous night, and it starts to become clear that his attack, the RIP message and the fire incident could all be linked. Robert and Michelle aren't scared to report the sinister events to the police, and they will suggest that Rich is behind all of the incidents, but just how easy will it be to prove that? Kim Marsh, who plays Michelle, revealed, when Michelle first sees the RIP message, she is terrified. Robert has disappeared, so she is left to try and clean it off herself. Robert returns having been mugged in town, and then someone throws a homemade firebomb at the Bistro. They both start to think that Rich is definitely behind all the problems they have been having. Michelle knows that Rich is a very dangerous man who knows some very dangerous people, so she is terrified. She has seen what he is capable of, so I think she has every reason to be terrified. Robert is also really struggling to cope with the fact that he has brought all of these problems to their door. He hates that his past has caught up with him, as he had put all that behind him, and he can't cope with the fact that he has put Michelle at risk after everything she has been through. Asked whether Michelle is tempted to leave Robert, Kim replied, "No, that is the last thing on her mind. She is determined they will deal with this together. She loves Robert and he was there for her when she needed him most, so she is not going to give up on him when he needs her. But I think things are going to get a lot worse for Michelle. We filmed some pretty dramatic stuff in the past few weeks, so watch this space." Soap Scoop video. Hit play below for all the latest gossip, as Bethany's ordeal nears its end and scheming Eva teams up with Adam.